your coverage.
Okay, we go yesterday, you guys will spawn. Where yesterday you guys will spawn.
Just make it longer. Yeah. So like it's, no, you don't have to select. Spread out, like spread out.
Erster! Erster Spawn! 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 Linksfield! Hey, Argentina! Hey! Score, boys!
Fight on!
Come on!
Let's go!
Rocky! Let's go, boys! Come on, boys!
A very good morning to you for Game 2 here at the Standard Bank Heronbridge Rugby Festival 2022. My name is Barry Wilson and I've got the honour of being here as commentator for this festival, and after watching a great first game between Hoërskool and Penryn, which Penryn won 29-12, it now goes into the second game with Linksfield in their, if I may say, blue and white, similar Argentina strip colours to the Wilgers green and white. Graziano Pina, the referee, gets us underway. It's calling a bit hard there, and the Wilgers have the opportunity for this relieving kick now.
Go, Hermie!
Ball not out, and sometimes that can be a little costly. Linksfield now wanting to spread that through their hands, and they've done just that. Quick recycling now needed. They've got their next pillar set up. Moving forward as they come from an offside position. Referee says no. Through the hands, next pillar, but he needs a jockey on his back there. He is making ground, he's gone to ground, so it should be tackle ball. And relieving kick here from Michael Gregel, Jingle. The Wilgers have to really tighten up here, and just it's encouraging to see them want to spread the ball and just set it up first, boys, and get yourself on that front foot. Linksfield definitely closing the space on attacking on their defence pattern, and doing that very quickly. So that door was closed. De Wilgers recycling. Don't panic. Just settle down. Through the hands again, but forward pass called by Graciano Pino, the referee. But before we look at the negativity of the forward pass, let's rather be positive and give credit to De Wilgers for their enterprising play of wanting to at least attack from within their own 22. Right, Aaron Joffe here has the ball. He's going to feed. Once again, Rafael Hoërskool, the number 8. Is this going to be an 8-9 pickup, or are they going the conventional way? Or are we going to look at an 8-9? Because that blind side is really appealing. Referee Graciano says he wants stability in that front row, making sure early on that safety first in these sets pieces. Aaron Joffe, he's getting ready to feed. He does just that, lets his front. No, good scrumming from De Wilgers, a good right shoulder there on from the tight head, but it's come through. Nothing wrong there. Coming in from the side, he said, to help his friend there as they were retreating. Linksfield, King David Linksfield, penalised from entering in from the side. That's a very good kick. That takes a lot of pressure off De Wilgers, who had to work hard there to make sure that they kept King David out. And now with the relieving kick taken right onto the halfway line, just beyond, and De Wilgers on attack in the Linksfield half. Ethan Edinburgh, and that is taken in, thrown in by Tian Jaber from De Wilgers. That's well taken up by De Wilgers. Going through the hands. That's a lovely flat skip pass. And plenty of running here shown from 11. Is it Roy Shonkin? Through the hands from Joshua Lowe again. And that infringement now brings it back to King David's. And let's see what they're going to do from their 10-meter line. There's some attention needed. And that's Ethan Edinburgh. Just a bit of a nose if you're watching from home and you know Ethan. Don't panic, that's all under control. Bit of a blood nose there, and Ethan will be back on that field shortly. So on to replace him is Tegan Zolberg. Replacement hooker for King David. And we've got Mr. Joffe at Aaron Joffe at number 9 to put this ball in for his team. Which way will they go? Through the hands. That's definitely creeping up, and that was an offside position there from the number 9, Joshua Lowe from De Wilgers. It's a tap taken quickly by 10, and that is Michael Jingal. Credit to Michael and his efforts there. He saw that De Wilgers hadn't retreated and were not ready for the quick tap, and he did gain his 15 meters. Unfortunately, second phase didn't come from that. Well taken by 8 in the line out, and that's Ruben Botha for De Wilgers. Oh, this number 10, beautiful balance stepping there from Armand Griesel. And Jonathan Heffer takes it up. Recycle, ball comes back. And that's Ron Menez trying to cross the advantage line there. Good turnover ball for King David. Options are on. And that goes out to Michael Jingal, who's put the Gary Owen up. Maybe in South Africa we should start calling it a Mornay stain. And we can all respect Mornay for the wonderful up and unders he provides from the Bulls. That's great running there from 13, and that is Jonathan Heffer. Recycle ball now. Is it taken up by James Fenter? John and Fenter. And this number 10, Creasel, has really been impressive. Now that is so unlucky, so unlucky. But this Armand Creasel has shown beautiful balance, and he reads the gap well. He knows when it's closed out wide of himself, and he took it on, saw the gap opening, and he took it and deserved his 7 points there, because I'm sure he would have converted it as well. But in wanting to put that ball down, he lost control, and it's now knocking goal. So turnover ball for King David. Back to Mr. Joffrey now to feed, and what will King David do here? I see Michael Jingal standing on the dead ball line. Is it going to be the conventional pass back and clearance for touch, or are King David going to be extremely out of the box and they're thinking here to try and create some expansive play? The Wilgers have turnover ball. That's heel against the head there, and they're giving it on to Jonan Fenter. And a good run from Ruan Fulyun. Busy man is Tian Jaber, the hooker for De Wilgers. They need to recycle. They've got numbers now standing wide for the next phase. And here it comes again to Ruan Fulyun. He wants to go closer. He's 2 meters out. And this is the chance now of John Ray de Van der Walt. And referee Graciano Pina says that the try had been scored. And that came from some very good running. You know, remember that the front row forwards were actively involved in that gaining ground and going forward for De Wilgers. So well done to them. And the number 8 for De Wilgers, Ruben Buerta, managing to put the icing on the cake with the final crossing over of the line. This is Mr. Creasel, and Armand has done well to add the extra 2 bonus points to Ruben Buerta's try.
Ruben Buerta, and Johan Venter adds the extra 2. After 10 minutes of play, the Wilgers lead 7 points to 0.
We've got Michael Jingal here, and he again is going to get the game started. A little bit of a flat kick there, out through to 7, out it goes all the way through the back line, and this is good hands from De Wilgers. Taking on is Jonathan Heffer, and he's gone on well, still going forward. Quicker ball needed. Bit of a dummy sold there, and back we go down. Is that Tian Jaber that's taking that ball up? Took her. Hands are on. Bit of vision there. There's 4 against 1, so the kick was on. But very good play by our Linksfield man here, who read that superbly. And that was Aaron Marks. Aaron Maritz on the left wing for Linksfield. Did exceptionally well to gain 30 metres. Linksfield regrouping into the halfway line now. Mr. Joffe waiting again. There is Aaron getting that ball out. Turnover ball. 7 has really got into the game, and that's Chart Duplessis. He's really starting to pop up in different places, and there again, standing at standoff and was getting his back line away. So on your feet, says referee, and chance for Michael Jengal to take Linksfield out of their own half, which he does, and King David move well forward onto the 10-metre line of the Wilgers. It's been an entertaining game, a bit of ping pong here. We've been able to watch both halves and see both attacking options from each team, which has kept us very entertained and excited here from this position. So we've got a game on this table in front of us today. Both in the first couple of boxing rounds here, just testing each other out. Tap off, got to be tidied up there. Knock in, is it going to be turnover ball? It is just that. And Aaron Joffe now. Is he going to find Michael Jingle? He does that. Through the hands it goes. A skip pass. That's good hands there. That's a good run by Jake Herman. Ball kept in play. Ball has been called. Oh, it's been called for forward. So it will be a De Wilgers scrum. So wherever you are watching and you support of the Wilgers, Hoërskool, the Wilgers, or King David Linksfield, I hope that you are making lots of exciting noise in your lounge at home, especially if you one of the family members. It's now's the time for them, these young men, to hear you, get behind them. And if you're watching live from school, even more reason to get there and cheer on your team, who both teams here are wonderful ambassadors for their schools at the moment. It's an exciting, ladies and gentlemen, for South African rugby to be seen in action again right around our country. Many of the schools are already in action, the start of their season, and we've seen it with our United Championships as well as the Currie Cup, and the crowds getting back. Well, with 3 different codes here, hockey, netball and rugby, we have got school festival breathing strongly again, and it is exciting to be part of it. Got a bit of an injury here. We have got the medical team attending to the young man. And there's lots of movement there. So if you know the young man that's down, relax, because look at him, he's making his way back up. And to me, that is Dylan Goldsmith, who is up and looks, is he coming back into action? There we go. So if you're a Dylan Goldsmith fan, your man is back, making his way across to the restart. Thank you to the medical staff. Always good to see them in a team looking after the safety of the boys and doing a good job to get our men back in action. Joshua Lowe, he's ready to restart the game for us. Referee Pinar says, come gentlemen, I want steady front rows. Brings him back into order. Joshua Lowe gets ready to feed. Good scrumming, steady scrum there. Good hands. And here we go to Mr. Griesel. Through the hands again. And we just need numbers to that breakdown. Good tackling. And that seemed to be from Ryan Baleta. And turnover ball. Taken on by Ryan Jamie. Then again, and that's Marco Grinjal tightening it up. He's given his team options left and right now. And they're doing just that with the pillar. Out it goes to Aiton Miller. We're coming into our third phase now. Michael Jingal played a bit behind. Samuel Ediston was caught in, but it's turnover ball here now. And that's a good run from Roy Schonken again. He's had 2 runs. Both times he's cut inside, but he's done that at pace. Ron Follion takes that ball up. That was good contact being met there. On his knee when he went down, and that's straight away as a knee touches the ground, that's deemed as tackle ball, so he had to be released. And Linksfield, King David continued playing with that. Has he found touch? No, he has not, and that's Armand Griesel. It's well taken on the far side. Good running here. Looked like Jake Herman that took that ball up from fullback. Taken on by Ryan Jamie. At lock, number 5. And Marco Jingal puts the up and under through, and very well taken by Shonkin again. And that's something that happens in our rugby a lot nowadays, is that the arriving players at ruck time all seem to go off their feet a lot of the times when the law clearly states stay at your feet at the ruck time and drive through. And we seem to stop at times and go straight down. And that's what referee Gaggiano has called for. But good play by the Wilgers as well in the attacking options. As I said to you earlier, this has been a good game of tennis here. Ping pong, back and forth. Both sides serving well, both sides returning well. Just in the game of tennis analogy. But somebody's got to serve the ace now, and the time building up for that in 18 minutes of this first half. Some magic needed. Both back lines look exciting in their running. That's well taken by Ryan Jamie. Markle again gets it away through the hands. And was that advancing too early from the line out inside the 10-meter space? And did King David Linksfield come up too quickly on the blind side there? And referee has called them for being caught inside the 10-meter area from the line out. Technical call that, but correct. Right, the Wilgers moving forward now. They on the 22-meter line of King David Linksfield. Who's this going to go to? There's a big man there in David Nordia. It goes to number 8, and that is Ruben Buerta. A good peel around. The pillars of defence were there by King David Linksfield. And holding on was the call. And King David's Linksfield, their defence patterns were solid and also had their gent fighting for that ball. So well done to them in their turnover. Another 15 metres forward for King David. Their turn now to get some secure ball. Ethan Edinburgh with the ball. He's going to put that in as the hooker. Waiting for his man, and he finds Ryan Jammy. And out to Dean Shamani, who takes it up. And that went back to Jake Herman, who puts it downfield. This is Mr. Shonkin again, by the look of things. That's good plan. That's good play and taken on. Recycle ball needed. Is number 1 Dylan Goldsmith going to be picking this up? Somebody needs to. And that's taken play up to just outside the 10-metre line of King David Linksfield. That's taken a lot of pressure off. The Wilgers just in the last few minutes seem to have been putting the pressure on and seem to be testing the King David Linksfield defence patterns, which have held solid, but the Wilgers again on attack from a defensive line out. Well, I say from the defensive line out, it was actually Linksfield ball, King David, and they've lost ground in that, but then there was a knock on, so the Wilgers have actually attacked from that defensive pattern. Time again for Mr. Aaron Joffrey. He's got to look at his options here. He's having a little look at his friend on the right wing there, Samuel Ederstein. Is he going to bring him into play? Samuel standing back. Looks like it's coming to Michael Jingel at fly half. And again, off 15 to Michael Jingel. Out it goes wide to Aaron Moritz. Great tackle there from David Valentine from the Wilgers. Knock forward ball, but play on, says referee, for the advantage. Well picked up and taken forward by John and Fenter. Through the hands it goes. Is it backwards? Yes, it is. Joshua Lowe gets the ball. The referee says we're going back. The advantage there was lateral. They're just going across the field through the hands. So let's bring it back to where there was no advantage. Double knock on. So first knock by King David Linksfield, so the Wilgers can attack here. Ruben Buerta, the number 8 for the Wilgers, he looks full of running, and is he going to test the waters here on the blind side? 13 is Jonathan Heffer, my apologies, Jonathan Heffer. Is he calling for it for the Wilgers here? And Chrysel has come blind. There we go now. Heffer takes the ball. Referee did say. Good tackle there from 13 Blue, and that's Ryan Balete. That's his third great tackle today, so Ryan standing solid in defence. The Hoërskool Wilgers using their options well. There's a good switch there by Armand Chrysel. Suddenly running around to the blind side through to Jonathan Heffer. Jonathan Heffer, unfortunately the knock-on. Scrum coming through. Is this turnover ball? Linksfield still have it. Away it goes through Joffe. Referee has his arm out, and that looks like that there will be a penalty. And that is for advancing too quickly. They closed the space. That is Wilgers very quickly and didn't get their arms around in the tackle. That ball again not going out. This could be costly. And that's superbly taken at fullback by Hoërskool Wilgers. 12 ran onto that, and that being Karo Marunu, but unfortunately he knocked it on. Flat pass there from Hoërskool. The ball now turned over. That's great running. That is really good leg work there by Linksfield. And there's no give and take here. That is, each man is putting his body on the line here for his school and for his team, and it's wonderful to see the courageous tackles that are being made as well. Correct tackles as well. Boys getting their arms around and aiming at that hip and down. Very well picked up by Ethan Edinburgh. He's well tackled. Again it goes on now. Linksfield now picking up the gas a bit. Quick ball coming again. That looked like Dylan Goldsmith taking that up. Michael getting that ball out to 12, which is David Sumani. So close on Linksfield now, King David. But there were no jockeys there, and there was plenty of time for Wilgers to actually get their arms around that ball and stay on their feet, and that means a constructive and well-deserved penalty for them. I'm sure they need that at this time, 27 minutes into the first half, to take this pressure off. Right, the only thing that's an option that we all believe is on for the Wilgers now would be to take that ball and put it firmly into touch with 2 minutes left on the clock, 27.5 minutes gone. And just take some of this new pressure that King David Linksfield are applying and to take that off themselves. Once again, if you've just joined us, we're in Game 2 here at the Standard Bank Heronbridge College Rugby Festival 2022. And so far, the rest of the day is to follow on the first 2 games. We're in for an exciting day of rugby. And so good to see the schools back in action. Wonderful to see that Heronbridge have given their school friends here an opportunity to come and play on the code of rugby, netball and hockey. So big festival here at Heronbridge College. They are going through their hands. This is exciting. The Wilgers confident to attack from within inside their own 22. Through their hands again. Out it goes to Jonathan Heffer. And this is Tian Jaber. He is not standing back for anybody. He takes it on. He got out there wide. Like Ruan Mini that took that ball up for the Wilgers. But it's turnover ball. Where are we going with this now? The ball is out. And it gets out to Ethan Miller, who's well met by the Wilgers. So they're playing behind their own advantage line at the present moment is King David Linksfield. Still going back, and someone's got to put that forward, and it's done through the boot of Marco Jengal. Well taken under the high ball. Is called for rolling. So the tackle was fine, but then went to ground and then did some rolling thereafter, preventing King David Linksfield from getting their hands on the ball, wanting to play positively there. I personally believe this is a good call by King David Linksfield to take 3 points at the polls now. We're going into halftime shortly, and to go 7-3 into halftime instead of 7-0 is a different story to tell at halftime. So get some points on the board, and you're in the game still. Always said to many friends and rugby followers that to me 3 points is half a try. So when you get the option of 3 points, make sure you take half a try. They add up immensely in the final analysis of the game. Has Marco done just that? He has. And there we go. He's taken what was an offer to make it 7-3, and that's the halftime whistle. So I'm sure there's lots of constructive talk from both coaches now. This is a tight game, 7-3 Hoërskool de Wilgers up against King David Linksfield. Once again, families and friends and school supporters, staff, wherever you are around the country, if you are supporting these teams, get actively involved. It's time for South African rugby again to celebrate the opportunities that we have in this wonderful game of being there to support our boys. And if you're watching from afar, we can still hear you, so turn up the cheer. My name Barry Wilson, and I'm enjoying being here as the invited commentator for this festival. And I hope you're enjoying the rugby with me.
Trinity House, Rampark Ridge, second team up against Redham House's Hollyfontein campus, their second team. And the match on court 2, King David Linksfield, their second team, take on Hoërskool once more. At the moment, at the hockey side of things, 10, Power Boys High. That match started at 10, and they up against Linksfield. And then later this afternoon, there are some mouth-watering clashes to look forward to as well. And that's just after this one. Monument take on Redham House. That's at 11 o'clock. That's game 6 at the hockey field. If you perhaps just joined us for the first time this morning, welcome to the inaugural Standard Bank Heritage Invitational. Fitness powers up the festival with a public zone, bikes on the side for the field, t-shirt, bags, merchandise, and more. And our grateful thanks also to great sponsors and this part of the community, which are amazing star operators, Journey to Green and Boomer, which provides significant value in hospitality, camping, development, and merchandise. UNSM EVA Travel, Impact, MySports TV, and Living Talk.
Oh, is there someone who gave me a water?
To make this event a success already there. By the way, Man of the Match Awards, sponsored by MySports TV. And we'll keep you up to date on who it's going to be. Right now, it's almost honours even between the Wilgers and King David Linksfield. EVA Travel offers service, availability, value, and peace. That's what sets them apart from the rest. Their services include, but are not limited to, flight and accommodation, local bookings, sports permits, travel packages, schools and group tours, overseas and local travel, as well as family holiday packages. Contact Carl at evatravel.co.za. We're looking forward to being of assistance to you. With shift, you can get more of the world no matter where you live. Get credits, get shares, get global.
I believe which side turns it on in the first 10 minutes of the second half could be the one to actually put that damaging blow through and maybe pave the way for the result at the end of the game. Third phase, third quarter, which is straight after half time. Sometimes not given the credit that it deserves as an important phase in the game, because both teams come from their team talks where they've been standing still and refreshing themselves, and now they've got to get their mindset switched on again. Always before the game it's nice and easy to get going because you've come from a fired up change room, and now you've come from the fired up water bottle at half time, and you've got to get your mindset back into action. So that's why I call the side that could probably get going in the first 10 minutes will be the one to maybe put a stamp on the second half. Let's see if that prediction comes true. Referee Gagiana is ready. Number 12 for the Wilgers is Kauro Morono, and he makes, that's a beautiful hanging kick. As I called it earlier, I prefer calling it a Mornay stain, and seeing we are in South Africa, a beloved country, and that's a great kick there. But Linksfield did, King David Linksfield, exceptionally well to drive forward, but good turnover ball. And this is great going forward ball. Pick up and go. Yes, well handled. The Wilgers seem to be playing with some fired up aggression as Tato Mahalo really went on well then. Sporting his South African rugby cap. Touchline is needed, and it's reached. That's a very good kick. Both sides walking towards this line out. It is getting hot out here at Heronbridge College, and early stages of the season. But looks like we're going to a 5-man line out by King David and Ethan Edinburgh at hooker to get that ball in. A clean ball off the top. And now through the hands. Trying to go wide from first phase, and that's got to be very clear and clean ball from a line out to do that, and also very slick passing. So it's always advisable to, at times, win your ball at the line out, drive it up a bit, get on the front foot, and then do your attacking options. As can be seen here, quick ball off the top is Costa, King David Linksfield. Now they've played well behind their advantage line now. No one's fault, but that's just the nature of the game. So number 9, here we go. Joshua Lowe back into action. For the Wilgers at scrum off to feed the ball. Good scrumming from King David Linksfield, but well taken by number 8, Ruben Buerta. And good play by his fellow flanker, John Fenter. And he's in front of the player, says referee Gagiano. He's called offsides, as you can see with his hand signalling that the player picking up the ball was from an offside position, and that's why he was beyond the advantage line. In front of the ball. On the halfway line, very clear for us to see now. The two lines opening up. Are we going back to the 5-meter line, 5-man line out? Ethan Geldenhuis, yes, we're coming in. Is it going again? Let's see if they can actually tighten it up a little bit now. Well, take still off the top. The handing's got to be slick, boys, so you can move forward. And they're doing that. They're back to the line, same line position as the line out was, and they've gained that advantage back. Still in the same line as the line out originally was. So let's get forward. That's the third plays now, and King David Linksfield is still waiting to cross over from that line out. The original set phase. And I would say by now they've done that. That's good play. But knocked into touch. And as referee Gagiana giving the Wilgers the option, a scrum or knock in touch. Looks like the line out option has been played. Not straight is called. So the option to King David Linksfield, that ball not in straight from the line out. So would you like to scrum or would you like to have the line out again? And they have taken the line out option. Ethan Edinburgh once again. This is going to go to number 5, Ryan Johnny. He says ball back, and that is turnover ball. Down to ground. Through the hands. That's a great tackle. Last line of feet. Linksfield need. All good. Controlled by referee Gagiano. Soft fingers there and trying to play behind the man, so he had to put those fingers out to try and re-scoop it, and obviously slight knock on. Water, energy. Attacking option here now. Aaron Joffe gets that ball out. And some good running here. Some determined running by David Landau, number 23. Referee has penalised. And Marco Jengel should take his team morale down, and he has done just that. Just short of the 22 of the Wilgers. Ethan Edinburgh will now take this ball again. Now Linksfield have got up nicely in the line out, and King David Linksfield, they like playing off the top of the line out, maybe secure one with two hands and set up phase play, which they are doing, but unfortunately not straight. Come 15 in, and referee Gagiana's given the mark for the Wilgers now to start the game again. Joshua Lowe at scrum off. Saw him around the park in the first half. Hasn't had much to do in the second half, and the Wilgers have also been in a bit of defensive pattern, but he gets a chance to restart the game again. This young man, Armand Grissel, let's see what he can do. I like the way he runs. He's got good vision. And a double skip out it goes. Double skip pass he gave to ground. Well taken up by Jonathan Heffer. And his quick hands now needed. 3 King David's men there in the tackle. Very good pick up there by Aaron Joffe as the support runner. Well recycled by Dion Somani coming in from centre. Knowing his scrum off was down on the ground. Turnover ball. Aaron Joffe. Is there a slight knock? Yes, there has been, but referee Gagiano rightfully has let game play on. And good running by King David Linksfield.
What happened there? Was it a penalty now?
Is that number 8 from Linksfield? Looks like a bit of a shoulder. Is that Rafael Hersovitz? That's getting attended to. He's been active for his team today, so I'm sure they're hoping that he can carry on, but doesn't look like it. And he seems to be making his way off the field. 19 coming on, and that is Dean Pagur. (7-3). This is still anybody's game. A touch hasn't been found, and this could be an attacking option for King David Linksfield. That's good vision. It is well taken by Daniel Isakovitz. Had to reach for that and set up phase through the hands. That's quick, good hands now. That will give their team options. There's a call for forward, but he's on his way. And give credit to both sides for their cover defence. It's been absolutely immaculate, with numbers getting to the breakdown. Hungry to make sure they make those cover tackles. Well done. 5th phase now as we get called into the game, and Dean Samani takes that ball up. And right on the corner flag now.
Jamie, steal their ball. Steal their ball. Let's go. Big one. Work there. Much better, man. Much better. Germany, good roll on. Good roll on. Herman, you see how the space is always there. There's going to be a blind side to try now. Watch.
Now the Wilgers have the throw in, and they're going to have to make sure they win this ball just short of the 5-metre line. And they've done just that. Ball is out already. Ball has been touched. So game on by anybody. But unfortunately a knock on there. Ball was touched by Linksfield in the charge down, but in the second attempt of pick up it was knocked on. And the Wilgers have the opportunity to get away from the try line and actually take some pressure off themselves. So Joshua Lowe now.
Watch blind, leave them on. Watch blind. And he's got it.
It's good to see consistency, and referee Gagiano not taking any chances with the front rows not being set correctly. Keep on emphasising the safety factor first in those front rows and in the sets pieces, and rather have that. So credit to the referee in making sure that these boys are correct in their structures for the set pieces. Taking it up, flats. Oh, but didn't look where his runner was, but they did advance. That was Linksfield. Had encroached and tackled high. Is called. That's interesting, and you see it in the big matches as well on television, where kickers advance 5 meters or so over the actual spot and gain 5 meters before they make contact with the ball, and that actually adds up. Referee Gaggiano said, "No, boy, you come back here and kick from the mark, young man." Very difficult to see that forward pass, but out it goes wide. And Aaron Moritz has always looked full of running on that left wing for King David Linksfield. Coming from the side, says referee, you come through the gate at the back, and otherwise you don't come through at all. And there's no side entry here. Well, De Wilgers, you've had 2 opportunities to reach for the touchline, and both haven't, and you've been on the defensive from your own penalties. So can you get this one out? Unfortunately not. So will King David Linksfield attack again? That's great tackling. Well tackled there by De Wilgers, number 5, Jean-Ray van der Walt, and following up. Don't think with too much intent there. It was cover defence, and but referee right to call it, because hard tackles are hard tackles, and they must be ruled out of the game as well. So correct call being given, and Marco Jingle taking that game forward for his team, King David Linksfield. Now De Wilgers have shown strong defensive patterns, and King David have really tried to get that ball out wide to the very expressive outside centres and wings. But again, it's a first phase ball that's needed to be won. Let's see if they can do just that. They haven't. It's been clearly taken away. Well done from Jean-Ray van der Walt for his team, De Wilgers, number 5, who jumped through and won that ball cleanly for De Wilgers. It's a clever option if it bounces correctly. Fair tackle as he hit the ground, well taken, and now again there goes 7 for David Crossed, but the ball eventually did go forward off a knock and scrum down De Wilgers. $16 coming on for De Wilgers at hooker, Jacques van der Merwe. And Tian Jabez can be proud of his game today. He's been active. He's lots of times had the opportunity to go forward on the ball, and he's done just that. So have a good rest, young man. Well deserved. Joshua Lowe again. This is a good scrum from De Wilgers, and well controlled at the back. Kauro Maruno on the run onto the blind side again, switching play options. Ball lost forward, and turnover ball for King David Linksfield. That's good driving forward, staying on their feet and crossing onto the halfway line, but ball needs to come back quickly. Good call to use the blind side, and there it's grained forward again into touch. And well played by these young men. But referee has called them back for a scrum for the original knock-on. And no advantage gained. Those options there, both scrum halves had the options, and especially in that last one, just for a little box kick over on that blind side. And plenty of space as blindside winger come up. And box kick options from scrum half should be practiced a little bit more in schoolboy rugby, because they are attacking options. We see it so often on television now, and those can really put your wings and attacking backline on the front foot. So a little bit of box kick option there would have really helped either of those teams, especially King David in that phase. Replacement here. And going on for the Wilgers is Idan Kops. Referee about to reset, and Idan Kops replacing Hidon Chipkin, who was proudly wearing his South African scrum cap. Seems to have picked up a little bit of a sole shoulder. Good scrum from De Wilgers. Referee, that has gone its distance, and we've seen it's gone to ground. It has to now be reset. Same side feeding. Even though that the Hoërskool De Wilgers were dominant in that scrum, it is a reset, so same ball. Well, we're into the close on the 51st minute of this game, so the score still 7-3 to Hoërskool De Wilgers over King David Linksfield. And any scoring option here could give that side a bit of a sniff for victory. So we're going into a very exciting final phase of this match. De Wilgers scrumming well again. Did get the dominance there, so from the tight head position, and there was the pullback from King David Linksfield. So in the scrum, referee has called stability and wants it straight, so that's a penalty to De Wilgers for their dominance in the scrum. Now, and crossfield. Offside line. Not advanced, obviously a little comment pass there, not really necessary, guys, and that loses you 10 meters, and let's see if this ball goes into touch. And it hasn't. Right, and advancing players there from De Wilgers from that kick that didn't go to touchline. But it's attacking options being played, advantage being played. Ball out to 15. Out it goes now to 13, which is Ryan Bakota. And there's the moment I've been calling. I said anybody that puts their foot down and takes that option now, it could be interesting in this very final minutes of this game. So going out wide and exposing De Wilgers out wide led to that try through the backs, and will take them into an 8-7 lead now. And that try going to Aaron Moritz. He's touched the ball 3 or 4 times today, and every time Aaron has touched that ball, he's put his ears back and he's headed one way, and that is towards that white line. So well done to you, Aaron. Now, very important kick for Marco Jengel. Unfortunate for him and his team, it isn't over, so it's 8-7. We're down to a 1-point match here, and looking at it, it's 5 minutes to go.
Because the conversion was missed, there's 5 minutes of play left.
This is where players now, captains, have to get their teams to dig deep. Who wants it the most? Because this game is for the taking. One lapse in concentration and the game will be yours, and you'll be singing in the change room. So both sides stay focused. That's a very good tackle. He had come to ground. He secured it beautifully, and 2 De Wilgers men. Now here's an option. Do they go for poles? Or do they go for poles? Take the lead again, but they've decided to tap and go. De Wilgers on attack here. Pick up and go. Linksfield got to make sure that they don't infringe here. De Wilgers. Oh, it can't. Still arms out for De Wilgers, so they have the penalty advantage from referee Gaggiano. And Benjamin, and that is Macklin Proudfoot, who took that ball forward for De Wilgers. Well run by Tato Marshall. But referee will come back. Now the callers. Are they going to get excited, or are they going to go for poles? Because going for poles is half a try, and that's 3 points for the lead. But young men are getting together, and looks like they want to score 7 points. But number 12... Right, what are these young men doing? They tapping and going. Well, that's interesting, because kick over, and I'm sure Armand Chrysel, if he would be taking the kicks, would have got that over, and that would have put them in the lead with 3 minutes to go. And some De Wilgers spectators on the far side definitely agree with that call, as you can hear them shouting, "Bala, Bala," and maybe the young men will listen to that call. This is interesting. There's an injury down. Doesn't look serious, but it is an injury and a halt in play. And both sides now will have to really refocus and get concentration levels at their highest.
An update for you on match 5 from the hockey. The boys match between both boys high included their time. Ended in
They're still tapping and going with it. Hope it works for them in their positive outlook, because they want to score this try. So make sure that it works, boys. Number 3 lining up, and that is Ruan Fulyun, who seems to be the man that's going to be taking this on. Or is it changing now? Rian was right behind the ball. He is again. And he can smell and see that white line. Nothing's going to stop him. Oh, it goes to Ruan. And he wants to go all the way. He's going to have to regroup. There it goes. Out it comes. Linksfield holding themselves up. They onto the 5 meter line. Now De Wilgers are already wanting to score from this position. They can see that line. Friends are calling for it. 16 gets it. Jacques van der Merwe. That was the call. You had to be really sure that you were going to get over that try line when you had a 3-pointer waiting for you. And I really do hope Hoërskool de Wilgers don't regret that at the end of this game, because that could have been the difference between victory today or their loss. But the game is not over. They're still in a good position. Hoërskool Wilgers. Yeah, Aaron Joffe make coach is calling him to go around to the other side to put the feed in. But Aaron's determined, he wants to put it in on this side. Just hope it makes it easy. Hope his hooker is ready for this from the right hand side feed. And has done well. The ball has gone back. He's got to get this ball out. And this is the chance. Could it be the last chance for the Wilgers? And the Wilgers have gone off their feet. Referee Gaggiano has said, so that ball travelled some 35 metres. Is there time for the line out? And there most definitely is. I'd call this the last move of the game, and it's to see what the referee feels. So the Wilgers are going to have to make sure that they win this ball back if they want to have their last option. Right. Referee's given the mark. Can these boys keep the line out open? And we've got Ethan Edinburgh to put this ball in straight. Can they win this line out? Because I'm sure it'll be the last phase. It has been won. Is it been kicked out? Yes, it is. And there is the victory. There is the victory for King David Linksfield over Hoërskool de Wilgers. 8-7, a 1-point victory. And both teams here had the opportunity to win that game, so both should hold their heads up high. And remember that polls are polls, and that option was there for de Wilgers at the end of the game. But in the spirit of the game, the young men wanted to score that try and give them credit for their positive approach. Good to see both sides lining up here and celebrating in positive ways the spirit